Hey, can you see me?
Yeah, can you see me? Someone walked right through me back there.
We might be dead. Are we ghosts?
How could I have done something like this to myself? What was I thinking?
I know, I was thinking I could have done something different too.
I wish I could have talked to somebody.
I think there are places that we could have went.
Can you show me?
Sure.
The ghosts travel further. Will we see more of the ghosts?
Yeah, we were able to use the concept of the ghost to do a bit of a walkabout to key services. And so they've gone on this journey and they actually become the eyes of the viewer.
This is the Comox Valley Recovery Center. It's one of the other places we could have come.
Well, let's follow him.
Hello.
Hi, I'm Dave.
Hi, Dave. We've been expecting you. Welcome to the Recovery Centre. How are you doing today?
Quite nervous.
You're quite nervous. Everybody's nervous when they come to the Recovery Centre. So let me tell you what's going to happen. We're going to call a staff member up here and we're going to give you a tour of the centre. And then we'll get you settled in your room. And our next big event at this time of the day is going to be dinner. And then you can relax, get to know the other residents, and your programming will start first thing tomorrow morning.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome to Where We All Belong. This morning, we have a guest from Comox Valley Recovery Center, board member, Bob Worbets. So welcome, Bob.
Well, thanks for having me.
So who is the Comox Recovery Center for?
The Recovery Center is for males, 19 years and older, who have some sort of addiction, be it alcohol, drugs. We're here to try and get them back to society as so that they can be part of society, a constructive part of society.
Okay, thank you.
And what happens at the Comox Valley Recovery Center?
Meals here, they sleep here. It's open 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. It's always there's always somebody here. The normal get up here is 7:30 in the morning, breakfast at 8. Counseling starts at 9, or the sessions start at 9. They go through lunch. In the afternoon they do the sessions. They go through the evening session starting at 7, and everybody's in bed by 11. And back at it again the other day, at the end of the day.
But are there specific time frames for a person to be able to attend your service? Like, do you do an intake at a certain time, or how do people come in?
People get, they're through can be through the mental health offices downtown, through the drug and alcohol counselors. That's how you would come into it. There's different programs. There's a 28-day program, a 42-day program, a 60-day program, and a 90-day program.
So there are a number of substance use services in the Comox Valley. How would you say Comox Valley as a recovery center fits in with that, or does it, do you think?
We're here to provide a service to people who need it. People will come to us and say, we have somebody who needs help. We're not judgmental.
Well, and I can actually vouch for how well you work with some of the other services, because I work in one of those other services, and we work very closely, and I have for 30 years with CVRC.
Why do you think CVRC works?
Well, I think that they probably learned the way after doing it for 40 years. And they developed a program that seems to work. It's client-based, so the people that come in are asked to give their desires, their goals. They set the goals, and the counselors and the center are the ones who facilitate that. And the answer is to get them back into society. It's a societal issue anyway. So we want them back in society in a productive way as quickly as possible. So, but that's the individual, the client's decision how it's done, and he will decide how he wants to make this happen.
Bob, is there anything else you'd like the viewers to know about CVRC?
Well, one of the things that we're working on at the moment, and hopefully it'll happen within the next year, is once an individual finishes the program, they're put back on the street, and that could be good or it could be bad, in that there may not be a safe place for them to go. So what we're trying to do is get a home for people to come back to, where they feel safe, where they can stay within the program or stay within their goals that they've set for themselves. And we're trying to do that through building another shelter, or not a shelter, building another home, for a safety home for people who go through the program.
Nice. That's very exciting and much needed.
Yeah. Well,
One of the things that, doing some research for this, one of the things that came out was what is addiction? And we shouldn't be talking about addiction, we should be talking about connection. Mm-hmm. And that's what the Recovery Center is probably trying to do and is probably best at. Not worrying about the addiction, worrying about the connection of people back into society. Mm. And an interesting thing was the research that's done about the war on drugs. Mm-hmm. The war on drugs hasn't worked. For example, the Portuguese government followed our example, or the North American example of the war on drugs, and actually found that the abuse and the amount of addiction went up by 50%. Or pardon me, went up significantly. So they decided to work on social programs. They took all the money that they were spending on the war on drugs and put it back into social programs for the people who have a problem. For example, going to a company and said, well, if you hire him, we'll pay half his wages for a year. Mm-hmm. And they found that just including these people socially, connecting these people with society, dropped the addiction levels by 50%. So it was, there are ways of doing it. It does work if we work socially.
Very well said.
Mm-hmm. Thank you very much.
You're welcome.
Bob, if you could imagine a compassionate community, what would that look like to you? Can you describe that to us?
One that cares, of course, cares for everyone, not just those that we would like to care about. In the case of Comox Valley Recovery Center, that's everybody, all aspects of the community. It's a tough question. I'm thinking about, this morning I was at the Sunshine Club, the soup kitchen, and there's people there who really need our help. And the perfect compassion village or town, if you like, would be one where we didn't need a soup kitchen. Yeah.
That's a beautiful description.
Thank you.
This is Amethyst House. It's one of the places you could have come and got some help.
Well, let's follow her.
Hi, Stacy. I'm Cindy. Welcome to Amethyst House. I'm the resident worker here. We're just going to go in and do your forms and go through all of your stuff, and you can ask questions. Is there something I can get you before we get started, though? A tea or a water?
Tea.
Some tea? Okay. How about we get you set up in there, and then I'll go down and get some tea, and then we can sit and go over your forms and stuff. Perfect. Welcome.
So welcome everyone to Where We All Belong. Today we'll be talking with Chris Elliot, Program Coordinator of Amethyst House, and the program is run by Comox Valley Transition Society. So welcome, Chris.
Thank you. Really great to be here. Thanks for having me.
Who is Amethyst Service for? Who's your client population or person population?
So Amethyst House is only for women, women over the age of 18 who are looking to leave substance use or looking to recover from substance use. We have a specific service area at the moment. The priority is for Comox Valley residents, but we also service Campbell River and Mount Waddington area. And when I say service area, that's for funded services. So we have two streams to our service. One is 9 funded beds for people coming in from the areas I just mentioned, and the other 3 beds, so 12 beds in total, are private pay beds, and they can be from anywhere in the province. So women, our beds are only for women.
Can you tell us a bit about what a woman would experience if she attended there?
A woman, when she comes in, can expect a structured program. She can expect to be fed nutritious meals. I'll give you an example of a typical day. So 9 o'clock would start with a grounding check-in group, and then we would have a half an hour break, wellness break, and 10:30 to 11:30 would be a psychoeducational group, tool skills development, and then a lunch break. After lunch, a variety of things can happen. Guest speakers, we run a smart recovery once a week. We'd have a 12-step group once a week, so that would happen in the after lunch time slot. And then last thing in the afternoon can be a creative recovery activity or a fitness activity. And then after 4, we have quite a long lunch, dinner break. And then in the evening, there's options between meetings or Monday, for instance, Monday night is an in-house AA meeting. Tuesday night, women have the option to attend a First Nations meeting group or go out into the community and attend a community 12-step meeting. We have knitting volunteers coming in Thursday late afternoon. We have yoga twice a week, Thursday evenings and Monday afternoons. And Fridays, again, just a variety of things. I have a wonderful group of volunteers in the community that come and give talks on, for instance, Jeanette from AIDS Vancouver Island, and Lisa Kirk, who's an artist and facilitator, comes in and does some wonderful creative healing work with the women. People from the bridging programs or from the Adult Learning Society might come in. And we try and get out for some recreational activity. So all these things will happen over the course of a normal weekday. Weekends are much less structured. We do some planning for the weekend so women can catch up on rest and chores or reading. There's opportunity for women to have visitors in the house or to go out on outings. And so it's a busy time. Women don't have a lot of what am I going to do with myself time. Yeah. Busy but not too busy. We like to think it's balanced.
So, as a residential program, is there a specific time frame that a woman would be in your program, or how does that work? What's the length of time?
It very much depends on the woman, and while we have the beds and run the program, the woman coming to us is being referred and assessed by usually a VHA agency or counselor, clinician. And so in woman working with that person will determine what the need for that woman might be. So it can be anywhere, if they're coming in through the substance use intervention nurse, the withdrawal management nurse, into a social detox situation, they might only be with us for a couple of days, up to 7 days. Or they may be with us up to 4 months. Actually, the longest we've had stay in the house is 4.5 months. So, and anywhere in between, depends on the needs of the woman. Yeah.
So it sounds like a really comprehensive, holistic program. And is there any cost for a woman to attend the program?
Yes, there is. If a woman is coming in to one of the 3 private pay beds where she can access the program from anywhere in the province, that cost is $150 a day. If a woman is coming in through one of the funded or subsidized beds and meets that criteria, and there is a process that she will go through with her referring person, then she's covered, depending on her income, by the ministry. And however, it's a bit complicated, and I don't want to get into all the minutiae of that. But it is important women really understand what is going to happen to their support checks and their housing, and because it does affect how much money they will get in their hands, cash a month, and how much money will go towards paying their shelter costs. And while there are subsidies available to cover any gaps, it's important that women understand what those gaps might be and take steps to fill them. So, not to scare anybody off, but just you have to do just a little bit of work, and that's where the referring people become so important. And every time I try and figure out the most recent ministry guidelines to the funding, I go, thank goodness for the referring people.
When you mention ministry, you're referring to the Ministry of Social Development
and Social Innovation. Yes, I am.
Okay. Otherwise known as income assistance by everyday people,
Yeah,
like
that's right.
like us, or people
So
we
if
serve.
someone is not on income assistance, do you have sponsored, like from unions or healthcare programs or anything like that?
That is something we're exploring. I can tell you that is not as common as for women as it is for men. Women often don't fit that type of work, and so we're not seeing that so much. It is possible to get payment from other sources. They would have to pay at the $150 a day. Again, a woman needs to be working with her referring person to determine the income, and because there are other subsidies out there, and just start the conversation is what I would say to a person.
And the referring agents is mental health and substance use through Island Health, is that right?
Yes. Yeah.
So it's the intensive case management team and the
withdrawal management,
and also the substance use outpatient clinic. We spend a lot of time trying to sort those details out. So I'm glad you brought that up. So a person does not have to do this alone.
No.
Is really what we're saying.
No, and neither do all the agencies, because it is a big piece. All that we depend very much on that support and assessment and all that information getting out to people, and it's a big piece. So we have the program piece. You're ours once you get in the doors. Yeah.
So Chris, this program Where We All Belong is showcasing the continuum of substance use services in the Comox Valley. Where would you say Amethyst House fits in with that continuum, or does it?
Oh, it certainly does, yeah. I would say sort of lower mid-level. Of course, the outpatient services catch the broadest group, the most number of people. And then moving upwards for women that might need a little bit more for whatever reasons, we can take those women in. So we're sort of that first mid-level part, I would say. But we aren't able to service properly those women who can't live communally, or those women with complex mental health or physical issues, because we don't have a medical and mental health professional on site. Our staff are well trained and got lots of experience, but we have a very specific set of things that we can do and can't do. So when I say lower mid-level, we're a assisted living supported recovery house, but we're not a medically overseen treatment center. So we want to make sure people understand that distinction, and if they're needing sort of to be overseen by a psychiatrist or have some serious medical conditions, then we may not be the right fit. Yeah.
So I realize Amethyst House is a newer program, but why do you think your service works?
It works because we provide a container. We provide a space, a safe container, a space, a structure. And the woman comes in and she brings her determination and her willingness to heal. And then there's a group of women, and we have the staff who bring their compassion and their skills and their acceptance and their offering of hope to women. And it's that magic that happens in the mix that transforms the women working with women. And it is amazing to watch that transformative combination of things. So why it works? Well, it's it's a lot of preparation, a lot of compassionate people, and a lot of magic in some ways too. But really, it does start with the woman wanting. She has to do her own work, and the staff and the program can provide acceptance and compassion and tools and skills and offer hope. But again, it's just that mixture that happens between the women, especially. That's where the real power comes, when women help other women, when they inspire other women, when they see women getting clean and sober and finding a place to live and changing their lives. It's pretty magical. Yeah.
So in the time we have left, is there anything else you'd like to tell the viewers about Amethyst House? Anything that comes to mind that we haven't covered in the questions we've asked?
Oh yeah, there's a huge piece, and one of the reasons why it works is the Comox Valley Transition Society has been doing this work with substance use and women for the last 15 years in a much more limited way, but we have an awareness that trauma is often connected to substance use, and our service is very alive to that connection. And for the last 15 years or so, the Comox Valley Transition Society has had a dream to make a better service for women, and when it comes to overcoming substance use. So if I would say anything, want to add anything more, it would be that this Amethyst House is part of a much larger agency, a much larger group of people wanting to support the health of women and the community, the larger community. So, yeah.
It took us 30 years, this community of hard work. And there you are.
And another reason, there's so many reasons why it works, I'm just going to keep going back, is when the place opened, the response from the community, the First Nations community, because we are very much supported by the First Nations community, and that's that's amazing. That's got amazing healing power there. The First Nations community, the recovery community, amazing. Right from the ground floor and the planning and the maintaining of relationships, and the recovery community's been fabulous. The professional community, we had Rotarians painting walls and cooking us Thanksgiving dinners, and then every person whose life has been touched by substance use has filled out an application form or said, hey, do you need a bed? Or so that's why it works. It's just on every level. It's been overwhelming sometimes. Yeah, it's good for my heart. So much gratitude there. Yeah.
Well, thank you very much for sharing from your heart.
Yeah. And did I mention the professional community is sitting right here? There's a lot to mention.
Yes, you did. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm just going to check my notes, see if I think they're long past now. Yeah.
Your compassion and passion for women and women's healing is really clear, and thank you so much for sharing your dream for a better future and from individuals' lives to the community. Thank you so much for being here.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thank you.